No matter how much we conceive of crypto in general and Cardano specifically as a new and alternate global economic operating system, every once in a while something happens to remind us that we still live in a world of unenumerable and infinitely intertwined butterfly effects. When war machines roll toward a border in Eastern Europe, or central bankers give us reason to believe they will move an imaginary number 9 times in a single year, these are gale force winds that no crypto market cap can yet withstand. Ready? Let's go. Today, we are going to discuss the effect of geopolitical and other macro events on crypto, which is largely the reason why everyone is so downtrodden today. Another partnership for Coty and Djed, the newly launched Ardana Academy, and the February Cardano 360 that is coming this week. Right now, everyone is ultra downtrodden. Everyone is super sad today about the price dipping once again, like it has before, like it's surged before, like it's dipped before. Whenever this happens, people get super concerned. Oh no, my Lambo dreams. What happened to me Lambos? Where did my moon Lambos go? People see their moon Lambos dematerializing in their mind. They no longer exist. There are no more moon Lambos in their minds when this happens. And it's not just crypto, it's not just Cardano, it's the entire crypto space. Here's the too long didn't read, guys. You can't have headlines like this one from Barron's. When Barron's says things like JP Morgan now expects 9 straight Fed rate increases until March 2023, when they're talking about the Fed raising rates 9 times in a year, you can't go without an impact on all the markets. And the markets are still ultra intertwined. We've been living in this era of free money. And, at base, the markets are just supply and demand. And that demand depends on the availability of capital. And when you're living in an era of free money, there's a lot of capital availability. When it becomes clear to the markets that you're exiting that era, when the Fed is talking, when people believe, when large institutions like JP Morgan legitimately believe that there will be 9 straight Fed rate increases over the course of a 12-month period, all of a sudden everyone freaks out and they're like, oh, the free lunches are over. Let's not acquire so much of these speculative assets anymore. In fact, let's do what the very next headline says here on the Barron's website. In fact, you can see right here, updated February 19th, originally published on February 19th. If you go down here to the very next headline, what does it say? Right here on February 18th, you had this headline, Bitcoin falls to below 40,000 as Wall Street in full de-risking mode, right? Everyone understands the days of free money are over. So what do? They de-risk. And that includes offloading very speculative assets like crypto, like all cryptos basically. And so we see what's happening in the markets. It's not that anyone is thinking about the fundamentals of crypto or anyone is making some decision about the future of crypto, whether the economic operating system of the future will exist more on blockchains or more with the traditional institutions. That's not what this is about. This is just about people looking at assets and deciding, oh, the era of free money is over for now, at least. We need to get rid of the speculative assets that might be impacted by this. And so, of course, what do we see? We see that impact materialize before our eyes in the form of the price action that's going on right now. This isn't about the fundamentals of crypto. This is about the world. And in this world where crypto and Cardano are certainly still correlated to the larger economic markets, It's not just the movements of central bankers that make a difference, that impact our crypto and our Cardano markets. It's also geopolitical events like this. When we see headlines like this, Putin recognizes independence of pro-Russian territories in the Ukraine. It's definitely going to have an impact on those markets. Just now, while I was recording, this headline from The Economist came out. Vladimir Putin orders troops to two breakaway republics in Ukraine. The move makes diplomacy much harder and increases the chance of war. You should know, if you're just listening, they obviously have republics in quotes because that's a very, very loaded term when describing parts of sovereign Ukraine. But these are not the kinds of things that go unnoticed by the markets, guys. We can long for the day when the crypto markets and the Cardano markets are no longer correlated to the legacy financial markets, but I'm afraid headlines that signal turmoil like this will probably always impact all markets. So I hope you're not spending tonight worrying about the future of EUTXO blockchains because of what's happening in the markets. A lot of what's going on right now has a lot more to do with what the Fed's doing and what this guy right here is doing. Okay, enough of that. Let's shift gears and talk about some positive things in the world, like the proliferation of Cardano's algorithmic stablecoin Djed across its DeFi platforms. Here we see a partnership of Coty and Djed with ADA. This is great. We've seen a whole bunch of partnerships between Coty and a lot of different DeFi platforms lately, and they all seem to revolve around Djed. I think this is great news. We need a stablecoin in the Cardano ecosystem. And I personally am very intrigued by the architecture of Djed, that really interesting tri-coin system that we've talked about many times on this channel. I'm excited to see Djed in action in Cardano DeFi. Some people are of a view they favor stablecoin architectures that more directly mirror what we've seen in the legacy systems inside the account balance world. But I'm really excited to see how Djed turns out once it's fully deployed. Speaking of DeFi, we got brand new charts, brand new revamped charts on MuesliSwap. This is great. I've mentioned this before, but I love the way MuesliSwap is just iteratively improving, just bit by bit. It's not so much this process of, hey, we're going to do nothing for a while, and then all of a sudden you're going to see, the rollout of all this brand new stuff all at once. It's just sort of like this constant drip of improvement upon improvement upon improvement, which is great to see, because you could easily imagine a project like MuesliSwap launching first on Cardano and then kind of resting on its laurels. That's not what we've seen at all. What we've seen is those guys just building very, very consistently, constantly improving. It's going to be interesting once all these other DEXs are launched on Cardano, watching them try to catch up to these projects that are already launched, like SundaeSwap and MuesliSwap. And at the pace that MuesliSwap's going, it's not going to be easy. For full disclosure, I hold some MuesliSwap milk tokens. I also hold a right to collect some SundaeSwap tokens. But we've been told we're going to find out about milk staking, and I believe this is going to launch this month in February. There's only about a week left of February. So the next week, we should find out about milk staking. I've been intrigued about this for the last month. Super excited to see what this looks like. I think there's a lot of future in MuesliSwap, and it's such an interesting project because it came out as such a dark horse. And even to today, I think it's kind of still overlooked despite the huge utility it's provided to the Cardano ecosystem. Here's an example of what I mean. SundaeSwap Labs Twitter profile has 295.1 thousand followers. How many followers does MuesliSwap Twitter profile have? Not even 10% of that, guys. 24.1 thousand followers. In more DeFi news, the launch of the Ardana Academy has been announced. Sometimes in crypto, it's easy to get so deep into the nuances and the tiny details of crypto that you forget that the vast majority of the world doesn't know anything about crypto. It looks like Ardana hasn't forgotten that. If you look at what's involved in this Ardana Academy, it really is an educational program for, as they put it, those interested in blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And I think when they say that, they're talking about people who don't know anything, because the course looks pretty basic. We've got introduction to blockchain technology, evolution of money, blockchain applications in financial services, Ethereum and Solidity, the basics of DeFi, a bunch of little DeFi topics, staking on Cardano, the history of Cardano, Cardano programming languages, Ardana stablecoins. I mean, this looks like a very basic course, and this is probably what does the most good at this point. If they put out some kind of a course for those of us who spend all of our time thinking about Cardano and DeFi anyways, they're basically just preaching to the converted. But by putting out a course like this, they could actually bring new people into not just crypto, not just Cardano, but Cardano DeFi. So I think this is a good move. This is one of those moves that probably does the most amount of good by putting out an educational program like this. Finally, I know people have been missing the Charles AMAs, but this Thursday we do have the February Cardano 360 going down Thursday, the 24th at UTC 1730. That's CET 1830. And Eastern Coast North America time zone 1230. So I think this will be welcomed by a lot of people. We haven't been getting any updates via Charles AMAs, so I think people will definitely welcome this February Cardano 360. I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you tomorrow.